Astros are nearly at full strength again, but the positive results have not followed. 5 losses in the last 6. Now 2 back in the NL East. Today, rookie Joe Ross goes for another quality start in front of the home crowd. The series finale with Arizona begins now. Cloudy day in D.C. Things have cooled off quite a bit. Nats hoping to cool off these Arizona bats. They've made lots of noise in the first 2 games of the series. And the Nats trying to get a split of this series before Colorado comes in. Bob and FP, it's been a rough couple of weeks. We all know that. Time for guys to step up. And 1 game, 2 games, there's always something different every day at the ballpark can really turn things around.
Yeah, but as a ball club, you can't get into the there's always tomorrow or get them tomorrow mentality. And I think, there's a lot been said about this ball club around town in newspapers, on different stations, and talk about the manager this, the bullpen that. The bottom line is the players need to perform better. The players need to play better, and it's on them to go out there and perform. They've been underperforming for the most part this year. And as a player and as a former player, I never got in the habit of blaming my manager, blaming the media, blaming everybody else. The onus falls on you as a player to step out there and step up, and it's got to start soon. I mean, the schedule's running out. It's getting late early. So, you want to make excuses. You want to talk about a lot of different things. The bottom line is the players need to play better. Interesting that over those 24 games we showed you, there's been a 6.5 game swing in the National League East. Mets are off today. They get ready for the weekend. So the Nats, with the stage on themselves, can take care of matters today. Joe Ross, the rookie's been good. Hellickson, one of the slowest workers in all of baseball. But Joe goes after hitters, FP. He'll give up some hits, but he'll give you a good 6 or 7 innings. Well, he's a guy that's going to go out there and set the tempo today, set the pace. He's a guy that's not scared. He pounds the strike zone. He's got great stuff. The slider is good as anybody's in baseball. He's got swing and miss out pitch with the slider. He was fantastic last time against the Mets. And with the Nats picked up Jonathan Papelbon. Last week in Miami, the Storen Papelbon combo worked really well for the final game of that series. Drew has been totally untouchable, setting things up for Pap in the 9th. And then again here at home on Tuesday night. Storen amazing, Papelbon efficient. Let's hope we see those 2 guys back on the field today. And brought to you by PNC Bank.
for the achiever in you. Fans still coming out of the Navy Yard station, heading down Half Street. We'll have a pretty good crowd by the time everybody gets down the street. And Max Scherzer, the ex-Diamondback, trying to change a few things from the luck standpoint, from the efficiency standpoint, bringing out the lineup card today.
Well, if he wins, he's going to do it tomorrow, but he can only do it for 4 games until he pitches again, at least, right?
Knowing Max, he'll take a few moments out of his warm-up to bring out the card if the guys are on a winning streak. So it's 80, humidity up a little bit. You can kind of feel a little heaviness in the air, but it is a welcome break from the 90s we've had all week. Feels pretty good at the ballpark, actually. Jake Lamb, 364 over his last 10 games, and even hotter than that over his last 11, scoring runs, driving them in. Not a big power guy with 4 home runs, but he's getting hits. He's making things happen in that cleanoff spot. You might have noticed Goldschmidt, Ahmed, Pollock, and Owings all on the bench today with Wellington Castillo. Joe Ross ready. We're underway at 4:06.
A 3-2 loss last start at New York. 6 1/3, gave up 2 runs, both solo shots to Lucas Duda. Gave up only 4 hits, struck out 6 Mets, walked 1 through 92 pitches. And the slider was fantastic. So fastball 93, slider 84, changeup 87. And a very rare 2-0 count for Joe Ross.
Ender Inciarte leading off for the D-backs. 5 out of 14 in this series. 7 of the last 15 games with him swinging the bat, he's had at least 2 hits. This Diamondback offense, 3rd behind Colorado, actually 2nd now, tied with the Giants in runs, 3rd in batting average, but 2nd in runs in the National League, and that's a beauty under the hands of the left-handed hitter. Rookie umpire Trip Gibson has the plate. Brian Gorman, the crew chief, at first. Mark Carlson, Gabe Morales around the diamond for the day game. This ball will be out of play.
Set the defense for the Nats behind Joe Ross. Worth, Taylor, Harper in the outfield. Desmond Escobar left side. Rendon Robinson right side. And Wilson Ramos back behind the plate. Clint Robinson getting a nod at first base today.
Yeah, he'll be batting cleanup. Ryan Zimmerman a day off. Ryan's been in there pretty regularly since coming back. 2-2 pitch again. Got him down around the trademark or so, and Michael A. Taylor has it. First out of the game. Nats haven't given up a first inning run last couple of games. Joe Ross, how about that? A 10 strikeout to ball, or rather base on ball ratio. So the best in the first 6 starts in the history of the franchise. That's saying something with the pitchers the Expos had over the years. Michael A. Taylor, he's back number 2 in the league with runners in scoring position. And the Diamondbacks have one of the youngest position player rosters in all of baseball.
I think there's a guy named Pedro Martinez somewhere on that list, and Joe Ross is ahead of him.
Ahead of Pedro in any category is pretty good. Here's Cliff Pennington getting a start today. 1 for 3 coming off the bench in this series, but he's been swinging well. 60 at bats over his last 31 games, and he has 20 hits. Pennington, one of the older guys in the ball club, turned 31 middle of June, and he just lines one hard into right field. Harper over to cut it off, and Cliff Pennington, 2nd hit of the series.
Well, it's been a tough road trip for the Diamondbacks as far as travel goes. So Chip Hale giving some of his regulars the day off. A tough schedule.
Seattle, Miami, Washington. Who wouldn't put those 3 cities together?
So Arizona to Seattle, Seattle to Miami, or did they go to Houston? I thought they went to Houston.
You know what? It was Houston, not Miami. Seattle, Houston, Washington. I was thinking indoor ballparks, and it was Houston.
A rare geography miss for Bob Carpenter.
Yeah, that was
down, folks.
That was pretty lame. They got the Reds coming into Chase Field starting tomorrow. So a long flight home for them tonight, but They're on a good road trip. 6-3 so far. That ball's well hit. Had a big sound. Peralta and Taylor will go back onto the track and grab it nearly 400 feet away.
Pretty good adjustment by Michael Taylor here. The line drive right at him, takes a false step, and then makes up for watching top of the screen. Kind of jabs in, then he goes back, turns around, finds the baseball. So good adjustment. When his first step was toward the plate, he thought that might be a low line drive, realized it was going to be over his head, had the makeup speed, and turned his back to home and made a great adjustment on a well hit baseball.
He's having a good series too. 5 hits, 4 runs driven in. Here's the cleanup man we focused in on a moment ago, Jake Lamb. He's just 24 years of age, a 6th rounder. A lot of the Diamondbacks are homegrown. Going back 10 years or so when Mike Rizzo was there, they were Major League Baseball's Organization of the Year in terms of minor league talent and prospects. They've kept that going under the leadership of Derek Hall, their team president, who's one of the brightest executives in the game. And as we mentioned last night, a lot of big names involved in their front office now, like La Russa and Dave Stewart. And Chip Hale doing a good job with this ball club.
Well, they're young, and from what I've seen, very athletic. We just showed you the graphic of 27 years younger and all the hits they have. But they play good defense. They run the bases well. They have team speed.
And another thing, you can't put a number on that, Pete. They look like a hungry ball club to me. Boy, that was crazy. Pennington started going, stopped, started going, stopped. And if Joe Ross had been able to step off, would have had him off the bag.
Well, you heard somebody down there yell step off, but Joe Ross started. Watch Pennington, top of your screen, trying to time it. Left too early. But Joe Ross not rattled, still threw a strike.
Anthony Rendon on the right field grass a couple of steps. Ross will show him one outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. There are a couple of ball games in the big leagues this afternoon. In fact, 3 of them in the National League. Everybody in the West chasing the Dodgers, and they're up 10-6 at Philadelphia. Diamondbacks are in 3rd place, 8.5 out. They're 6.5 out in the wild card race.
That's 3.5 out in the wild card race.
This time he goes. Did Pennington, and the ball popped straight back out of play.
See, when you see a guy trying to time you up as a pitcher, the pickoff move that'll work for Joe Ross right now is the hold, like Max Scherzer does, step off and throw to first base, because Cliff Pennington's getting antsy over there. He's trying to time Joe Ross. He's left early twice. So if you just simply come set and hold, you might have a chance to pick him off first base. But don't get into a rhythm, don't get into a tempo, because Pennington's a smart player. He's counting along. When Joe Ross comes set, he's trying to time him up.
Stood still that time, and a ball in on the hands foul to the Nats dugout. So between these 2 ball clubs, today's the rubber game for the season series. Nats got 2 out of 3 out there. D-backs have 2 out of 3 here. Just one of those odd things where you play a team from another division 7 times. That'll even things up 2-2. So not only the wins, but some other numbers. Runs per game pretty even. Diamondbacks sitting over 315 against the Nats.
Look at the starters ERA in the series.
Yeah, both staffs have been clubbed around, and they haven't made a single error against the Nats. The Diamondbacks have the 2nd fewest errors in the league, 50 to the 47 of the Dodgers. I would think most people watching Arizona would know that they have a little more range defensively than LA does. 2-2 with the runner going. Swing and a miss. Inning over. So Joe Ross gets a couple of fly balls. One of them pretty deep. Gives up a base hit. Coast Guard Day here. We had a fantastic flyover by the big orange chopper. Look at those rotors in the Exmo. Escobar 5 for 12 with a home run in the series and a base on balls. And then Michael A. Taylor, he's heated things up again. 4 homers, 10 RBIs his last 12 games with 15 hits, so his batting average back into the 240 range. 5 out of 12 with 4 RBIs in this series.
You see the arsenal for Jeremy Hellickson. The fastball averaging 90 miles an hour. Big 12-6 curveball averaging 77. Loves the changeup around 80. Last start, get this, he allowed 7 runs on 7 hits and 3 1/3 in a 9-2 loss against Houston. That was on the first through 73 pitches. Let's see if Escobar gets a first pitch curveball or changeup today. He's been swinging at the first pitch of the game a lot, and oftentimes when leadoff hitters do that, they won't get a fastball.
Five out of 19 career against Hellickson. That was 92.
And got a fastball.
Saw him a lot in the American League when Hellickson was with Tampa Bay. And that slugging percentage really impressive. Only Matt Carpenter and Gerardo Parra higher. A little bit inside, Trip Gibson said. 1 ball, 1 strike.
He's got his uni bunched up on his back shoulder to try to keep his back shoulder up. Guys will do that with their sleeves. Kind of a reminder, because you can feel it, to get that downward angle where your back shoulder's above your front shoulder. You see that slant he's got going there?
Got a big breaking ball, and over by the bag, Jake Lamb handles it well for the first out.
So the defense for the Diamondbacks: Peralta, Inciarte, Tomasi outfield, Pennington, Lamb left side, Hill, Salta Lamacchia right side, and Oscar Hernandez behind the plate. Nats have done a good job recently of scoring early and scoring late. It's been the middle innings, the in-between, where there's been a huge lull. And you remember back to last year, they did that a lot too. They'd score 2 or 3 in the first. We used to always say dump and chase and just sit on the lead.
Yeah, borrowing the old hockey term, huh? Get up a couple of goals and dump it into the zone.
Right. And those, the second and third time around, if you could just add on a few more runs, that'll really demoralize a club once you score early. But if you score early and don't add on, the other team always feels like they're in the game.
Anthony Rendon looks at a strike, and it's 0-2. He faces Hellickson for the first time. Couple of hits, hit by a pitch, a walk in the series with Bryce Harper on deck. So really, in terms of producing runs, And that ball hit out to center for Inciarte. The Nats put a pretty good stop to Goldschmidt, and the Diamondbacks have done pretty much the same to Bryce. He has 3 hits, couple of walks, and in the series has scored 1 run. Batting average at .330, right behind Buster Posey and Goldschmidt. 2 points behind Buster, 9 behind the Arizona first baseman. Bryce first in on base percentage, homers, 4th in RBIs, 1st in runs. These are Major League Baseball ranks.
Boy, if he gets hot right now for the last 2 months with those numbers already established, look out. And it's interesting to see the Diamondbacks, if everything's been away this whole series, away or off speed. And if you remember back to the Dodgers series, they pounded him in, made him aware of that fastball in, even moved his feet a few times, made him a little bit uncomfortable. So it's, different teams have different philosophies, different scouts see players at different times.
Yeah, Bryce went 3 for 13 at New York last weekend. They pitched him pretty well too. And the 0-2 chopped straight down, hit him, foul ball. One for 2 career with a walk against Jeremy Hellickson, with a career record of 47 and 43 against the Nats May 13th out at Chase Field. 5 2/3, 4 hits, 4 runs. Bryce going to walk that one off. It was the game the Nats came back to win 9-6 on the Taylor grand slam. Target away. Solid numbers when behind in this count. Off speed. Two pitch. Nice rip.
Hellickson, a guy that's not going to overpower you, move the fastball around, in and out, up and down, throw changeups and fastball counts, really rely on that 12-6 curveball. And as a hitter, just pick a side of the plate. It's hard to cover in and out with a guy that's going to move a fastball around. So get a game plan, look for a pitch away, look for a pitch in, wherever you look, and just stick to it. Be committed to it.
That was off speed, way outside. Easy take for Bryce. The way he's seeing the ball this year, and now it's 3-2.
Go Nats.
And Bryce Harper will take his 77th walk of the year. That'll bring in Clint Robinson. Diamondbacks will send Jake Lamb to the right side of the infield, put Aaron Hill in right field. That's Lamb, the third baseman, behind the umpire, Mark Carlson. And then Pennington stays home at short. Jason Worth next, a bunt base hit there if you want it.
They all look the same to me, the infielders. They all have black wrist tape on. So now that they're moving around, I have no idea who's where.
Robinson right into the shift, though. And a one-hopper for Aaron Hill. So shiftage works for Arizona. Folks are still coming down Half Street into the ballpark. We welcome them. Hope the weather holds off right now. It's really nice at the yard. No score. Matt LeCroy out there. Felipe Rivero. Some of the early to middle inning guys are out there. Just an interesting sight at the ballpark to see a starter in the bullpen.
Yeah, it might be in the bullpen, might be a starter still. We don't know. Haven't been told anything. I guess if you could tell if he has cleats on or not, that might be a clue.
He does.
Usually on your off day as a starter, you wear turfs and cleats on the days you pitch.
Aaron Hill, Jared Saltalamacchia, Yasmani Tomas for the Diamondbacks, top of the second. All these guys seeing Joe Ross for the first time, but they've seen plenty of his brother, and they sure are impressed with what they've seen from Tyson Ross over the last year and a half. Desmond takes care of that, and Aaron Hill is 0 for 8 in the series. Saltalamacchia next. Getting some playing time at first base today with Goldschmidt a day off. In this series, 2 hits, 2 RBIs. He's at .211 for the Diamondbacks in 26 games.
A couple of big hits.
Started the season with the Marlins, who he played with last year, released May 7th. Became a free agent the next day, signed a minor league contract with the Diamondbacks, went to Reno for 9 games, their AAA, and then called up May 29th. Saltalamacchia turned 30 May 2nd. 2-0 pitch.
A changeup.
Yeah.
A rare changeup. Well, he throws it 10% of the time, but and backs it up with a fastball. So it's hard to speculate if Doug Fister's in the bullpen, but based on the fact that he has his cleats on, that would say a lot, right?
You would think so. And if Doug was out of the rotation, the young man on the mound, with the return of Strasburg to go with him, Steven expected back this weekend, it would all kind of add up. I mean, Doug has struggled. There's no way around it. That sinker hasn't been doing what it did last year. 3 balls, 2 strikes with 1 out. Got him. 84 on the changeup. Saltalamacchia ready to toss the bat away and go to first, but not so fast.
Might have been a slider, and a backdoor slider at that. You see the rotation, trying to come back, and it just nips the outside corner. Good frame by Wilson Ramos. Good pitch by Joe Ross.
Ramos goes into freeze mode there. And that's 4 straight for Joe since the base hit by Pennington. Here's the right fielder, Yasmani Tomas. 2 for 6 in this series so far. And Ross with 95 sizzles right in there.
Just an easy 95, effortless, great mechanics. Everything very compact, very slow, stays back nice, and the ball just jumps out of his hand at 95.
Well, that was some jammage right there on strike 2.
That was knuckles. That was a 2-seam fastball chasing his fingers. A lot of times a hitter, you just say, I'm swinging at this pitch no matter where it was, and I think you just saw a case of that with Yasmani Tomas. Almost hit him in the fingers.
0-2. See what the rookie has in mind here. Buries the slider. And Tomas, one of their building blocks for the future, 24 years of age. 5 years of professional baseball on the island.
Which island?
Cuba.
Because if it was Maui, that would be cool.
I'd never leave.
Bora Bora would be a good place to play for a while.
All that leisure, that would have to get boring.
I could play in Tahiti for
that would have
years.
to get boring. Tahiti. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Great slider down. So Ross strikes out 2 hitters in the second. Lamb to finish the first. He's retired 6 out of 7, and now it's Worth, Desmond, and Ramos coming up.
Nationals Park. Matt Williams said after last night's frustrating loss that he planned to have a team meeting this afternoon before today's game against the Diamondbacks. And I asked Matt this afternoon what his message overall was to his ball club. And he said the key thing is just aggressiveness, that we're at our best when we're aggressive. He knows that there are limitations on that right now because of injuries and overall team health. But he said aggressiveness is the key to us. We've proven we play aggressive. We're a better team in that regard. Let's get ready to play. Let's be ready to take an extra base on a ball in the dirt. When you're in a good hitter's count, get a good one and let her fly. He says human nature says when things aren't going well, you play it safe, but that's not who we are. Let's play aggressive, and if we do that, we'll play well.
Well, team meetings are a tricky thing for a manager, because if you have a team that's really grinding and trying too hard, and you go in there and say, come on, let's go, you know, then your head explodes as a team, and all of a sudden you're trying even harder and it doesn't get better. If you have a team that you think isn't playing well or playing hard enough, and you go in there and you give them a hug and say it's going to be okay, then you run the risk of them thinking it is okay, and they don't really change anything. So a lot of times, you know, one message clicks with half the team, one message clicks with the other half. You have a tendency to maybe hack a few guys off by your message, pump a few guys up. So team meetings in general, one message for 25 guys is a very tricky thing.
Jason Worth puts a charge to center, and it is caught up against the wall by Ender Inciarte. Closest Jason's come to a long ball. Straightaway center.
Yeah, his BP today was awesome. He was letting it fly. The swing is coming. And you could tell in batting practice, a very aggressive swing. The ball was jumping off his bat. And a good swing there to start this one up. But as we've seen in this series, Ender Inciarte has some wheels. He can fly.
Ian Desmond is next. And he launches one to left center. See you later. Back wall of the bullpen. Number 12 for Desmond. And the Nats bust out on top. And they almost had 2 in a row.
That was aggressive. That was letting her fly. And there goes the no-hitter. Ian Desmond style with his 12th home run of the year. Helmet off, seeds flying, high fives in the dugout, smiles. Everybody smiles. I like it.
That was a no-doubter. And for Ian Desmond, his 102nd career home run. Actually, 103 now. Started the year with 91. And here's Wilson Ramos. He's looking for double digits.
Just kind of finishing up the team meeting thought. In my experiences, the best meetings are the ones where you know your personalities on the ball club. You know which guys need a kick in the rear end and which guys need a hug. And you address them individually. You call them into your office and you say, look, you need to pick it up. Or, hey, everything's going to be okay. Now you're getting individual messages to individuals, and it hits home more than the general, team meeting. Let's go. Let's get going. Those have a tendency to work sometimes, but knowing your personnel like Matt Williams does, knowing your personalities, the individual touch is what always has the best effect.
0-2 to Ramos, 3 for 7 in the series. He's driven in 3 runs. Reaching for the 0-2 breaking ball, stays alive.
A little Exmo action. Let's check it out. Head still, foot down way early. And look at the bent arm swing. Didn't really get extended, just showing you the strength of Ian Desmond. And rifling this one out of here to make it 1-0. 104. Didn't even let us guess.
I know.
It's lame, by the way.
I'm not going to say that was the number I was thinking of.
Well, it's tied at 4. And we didn't even get one.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll have another chance today.
Yeah. Ellickson's given up 18 home runs now. Oh, 2 to Wilson Ramos again. Dodger game just went final at Phillies, so right now the D-backs are 9 back. LA has won its 62nd game of the year. And St. Louis with 68 wins about to close out the Reds. 3-0 bottom 9 at Cincinnati. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
I think the most important outcome, Carp, of a team meeting is that your guys are together. They're all on board and they're hungry and they want to go out there and play hard for you every single night. However you convey that message, however you get that message across, that's the most important thing for a skipper, is to have them all on board and playing as one.
Boy, the Nats are taking some great swings. 3 balls roasted in this inning. But FP, for a bunch of major league guys, how does it get to the point where you're maybe not doing those things?
Well, you kind of get away from it. I mean, you were a hungry ball club in 2011, 2012. You came out and shocked the world. You had a great season. Now everybody's gunning for you. 2013, 10 games over 500, a good season. Didn't make the postseason. And then last year you win it again. So, you could make the argument that it's harder to stay on top than to get there, and it's harder to stay hungry. You were the underdogs for the longest time, an organization that lost 100 games and wasn't good for a long time, and now all of a sudden you're the talk of baseball, and you can lose focus and you can lose that hunger on a daily basis, not in general, but from a day-to-day basis. And you can make the argument that the Mets, or that team right now, the way the Nats were in 2012.
Yeah, they were the underdogs coming in. In fact, everybody thought there were 3 teams in the division that would be better than them. Ian Desmond, long, and I mean long, back wall of the bullpen. The Nats swinging the bats up by 1.
responder or government employee, even a public school teacher can receive up to 30% off Nationals tickets when verified through GovX. Special ticket offer also includes up to $10 credit to be used for grub at the ballpark, a beverage, merchandise, anything inside Nats Park. To be verified, purchase these special tickets. Go to nationals.com/GovX.
30 pitches, 21 strikes for Joe Ross in 2 innings. The Desmond homer has him on top. Inside the numbers with Jeep. So guys chasing out of the zone against sliders. Only Will Smith of Milwaukee, a higher percentage.
That Will Smith is talented. Boy, I'll tell you what. He does a lot of things well, including pretty good swing and miss slider.
When he strikes a guy out there, write down X, not K. Oscar Hernandez, the catcher. From Venezuela, Rule 5 draft pickup from Tampa Bay. And he was on the DL early April till the 4th of July with a broken hamate bone in his left hand. Tuffy Gozwich was doing catching for the D-backs when we saw these guys back in May. Their longtime guy, Miguel Montero, now a Cub. Swing and a miss. Boy, that was a big breaker. He's got some great off-speed pitches going, and not just one of them. Everything working for Joe so far. Hernandez, Hellickson, Inciarte, top of the 3rd. Had him reaching, and that is a foul ball. Very close.
I don't know if Escobar was fooled by the swing, but that was pretty close, and he just kind of stood there like it was way foul. Maybe our angle didn't show it right. Watch. He just knew he couldn't get there. Pretty close. Kind of surprised he didn't call it foul.
That ball's coming back fair, a cue shot, and Ross will just shovel it to Robinson. That ball appeared to be 3 or 4 feet foul, and then it came squirting back across the line.
Well, good hustle by Oscar Hernandez. A lot of times you see guys stay in the batter's box on these, but he was running hard. Watch how far foul this is. Little English on it. Good hustle. Off the end of the bat like a spinning top. Look at that thing. And that's not easy to field when it gets into your glove. Sometimes it just spins right out of your glove because of the rotation on the ball.
Here's Jeremy Hellickson, 5 for 31 with 3 RBIs. Been swinging the bat a bit. He's a 162 career batter. All of his career with Tampa Bay before this season, he was 40 and 36 in 5 seasons with the Rays. Diamondbacks got him in a trade for infielder Andrew Velasquez and outfielder Justin Williams back mid-November. And Joe trying to run that fastball back to the outside edge. Des Moines, Iowa native Hellickson.
Desmoines.
That ball really hit hard, and Hellickson robbed by Robinson. 2 outs.
It's time for your T-Mobile game changer hashtag Nats Couch Cam photo deal. You might just see yourself in an upcoming broadcast that's brought to you by T-Mobile. You know the drill. Take a picture of yourself, hashtag it Nats Couch Cam, and we'll show you on TV. It's a good camera. Does anybody have cameras anymore?
Dad does.
He does. Cameras are like payphones. Everyone just uses their cell phone now.
Inciarte with a foul ball. Fly ball to Taylor to start the game.
That's a big camera.
Oh, those are the professional guys.
Yeah, that is.
I've noticed over the years that some of our guys down there have started wearing helmets in the camera bays.
Yeah, because they're looking through the lens. They can't see. There's a helmet. Yeah. It's a dangerous job. You're right down there in the action. Remember the old days when they just used to stand outside the batter's box in the middle of an at-bat?
Believe that? Out on the field.
Out on the field.
I think Bob Casey in Minnesota might have been the last one. But PA announcers used to be on the field. They'd be like a little offset toward first or third base down there, have a little fold-out chair and a little fold-out desk. And in some of the old ballparks, the PA guys were literally right behind the umpire.
Are we going down there this year?
Where?
To do a game down
on the field? I don't think so.
No, what we did last year. I want to do that.
You asking me that question is like walking down the hallway and asking the janitor how the company's going to invest their money this year. Come on.
Bro, you went a long way for that. I just asked a simple question. Are we
and my answer should have been a simple one. How do I know?
Yeah. We could be right there doing a game right now without all the janitor hallway talk. I mean, the simple yes or no would have been perfect.
Yeah, kind of like the answers you give me. 1-2 with 2 outs.
And IDK LOL, something like that. Just tighten it up a little bit.
That's a great pitch. Ross is getting ahead, and then he's striking guys out with pitches that are not strikes. 4 Ks in 3 innings, 1 hit given up. He'll lead off bottom of the 3rd. On the Ian Desmond, laser to left. The Nats 1-0.
Bottom of the 3rd inning. Come off to Nats Park on Friday, August 7th. Nats take on the Rockies. 7:05 start. They're going to be fireworks, Freedom Fireworks. That's presented by Kellogg's. Enjoy performance from the United States Navy Ceremonial Guard Drill Team to kick off the display. For information, purchase tickets, go to nationals.com. Rockies coming to town.
And Ryan thought he had the day off. Joe Ross 2 for 16. Bottom of the 3rd coming. Hellickson, 29th pitch, and his 22nd strike. Sun trying to peek out from the clouds today. And a fastball, a good one to the outside edge. 1 ball and 2 strikes. In the division, Marlins are at Atlanta tonight. Phillies have been beaten by the Dodgers, and the Mets are off.
Joe Ross got a good eye. Usually swings at strikes, takes some tough pitches, always gives you a solid at bat, and he's got a good swing. A couple of hits on the year, a couple of infield hits if I'm not mistaken, but he's due to square one up. Got a good approach.
Two-two pitch. And a slow curveball just comes in there at 76, gets him looking. Hellickson first strikeout. Nats go 1 for 8 with a walk first time around. Escobar next. Just looking at the schedule, the Mets will be at Tampa Bay tomorrow night to open a weekend series. You know, Escobar bounced one right near the third base bag first time. Jake Lamb picked it up and threw him out. And to make sure he checked his swing, he took one hand off the bat and looked at Trip Gibson. Ball 2.
Change up here. 2-0 change.
And down it went before it got to the bat and after it hit the bat, and Escobar staggers himself a bit with that.
His body's so beat up, and it seems like it takes the beating in the batter's box more than any player I can remember in recent memory. He's always fouling balls off some part of his body. His wrist with the check swings. He's been hitting the hand a number of times this year. He's been hitting the forearm a few times, and now he fouls one off, what, his big toe? Is that where it got him? Instep.
Wow.
I saw Danny Espinosa's shin today where he fouled that ball off. All kinds of black and blue. You get to August and September, if you're playing a lot, you are beat up.
The dog days are barking right now.
I mean, he's got
for Escobar
a lot of protection, and it always gets you in the spot that's not covered.
And then he gets hit by a fastball, slams down his helmet, and he'll eventually get to first base.
He just beat up and frustrated about being hit a number of times on inside fastballs this year. I don't think he's mad at Jeremy Hellickson per se, just frustrated that his body took one heck of a beating in one at bat.
7th time he's been hit by a pitch this year, and the next closest are Desmond and Harper, 3 each.
And if he would have looked out at Hellickson, that's where the anger would have been directed. But since he looked away, that was just frustration for being hit. This is what I'm talking about. Everywhere you can be hit in your body all season long. And I'm surprised his helmet didn't break. And that could have got ugly if that helmet would have ricocheted into Hernandez.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Saltalamacchia holding Escobar here, and then Rendon. Anthony a fly ball to center first time up. First pitch 80 had him out ahead.
I mean, it's not funny, but I mean, you're watching Yunel Escobar just beat up at first base. He just shuffled in his secondary lead. He could barely get back to the base because of the foul ball off his foot. let alone the pitch that hit him in the arm. That was a rough at bat for Yunel Escobar. Look at him getting off the base. He's just hobbling. He's in serious pain.
If Anthony Rendon hits a gapper or one down the line, he's going to have to keep an eye on the guy in front of him on the bases. Rendon in this series 2 for 11. Playing his 30th game today. He has 30 hits on the season. They've got Rendon bunched a bit toward the gap in the left center. A lot of room out near the right field scoreboard. A 2-1 pitch. And they've got Anthony finishing his swings one-handed with all the off-speed stuff he's seeing. Not a strikeout guy at all, Hellickson. Coming into this season, 463 strikeouts in 640 major league innings. That was a fastball up. Count goes to 3-2.
You know, I like what I just saw from Yunel Escobar right there. A little anger. You know, anger is not the worst emotion in the world, and it is an emotion, and the guy plays with such passion every single day. The worst thing you could get into as a ball club when you're scuffling is to start feeling sorry for yourself and to start having that look where, you know, what's going on, the hangdog look. Now that's taken a lot of energy that should be put into other places, but anger is a good energy. I mean, you can build on being mad about something, whether it's your performance on a given day, whether it's getting hit by a pitch, whatever it is. You know, there's some fire there, and you know that was enough is enough of getting drilled this season. Helmet snap, and I liked it.
(3-2) with one out. Rendon, what a good at bat. Anthony kept being pounded inside by Hellickson. So a hit batter and a walk. And Bryce Harper will have the pitcher off the stretch and 2 men aboard. Rockies are coming in tomorrow night. Jordan Zimmerman on the mound for the Nats. So a 3-game series with Colorado. Then it's on to Dodger Stadium for 3. 4 in San Francisco. 3 in Colorado. Heavy dose of the West over this 2-week period. Saturday, Strasburg. How's that sound?
Sounds good.
We'll see. Bryce Harper took a walk his first time. So 2 free passes issued by Hellickson. With a hit batter, the Nats have 1 hit, the Desmond home run. Harper last homer at Miami, 29th of July, just over a week ago. Hit a couple of upper deck right field shots down there. Two and 0. Escobar, the human bruise at second base.
The human bruise.
Anthony Rendon 90 feet behind him. And the superhuman at times Harper in the box.
got the eagle eye going today.
Yeah.
And yes, green light. Let it rip.
Why not?
Hit one into Navy Yard. Over the scoreboard.
And Bryce sees it low and takes another walk. He's done such a good job of keeping his cool at the plate in these long counts and just not getting himself out when other teams aren't giving him anything to hit.
Well, the open base was third, and that was an obvious that Jeremy Hellickson wanted nothing to do with Bryce Harper. Maybe think about a ground ball here with Clint Robinson, but yeah, take your walks. If they're not going to pitch to you, don't expand your strike zone. It's almost like Bryce Harper's been hitting eighth in that regard this year. You know, when you hit in the eighth spot and the pitcher on deck, they're going to pitch carefully to you. They're going to try to make the best pitch, get you to fish. But as an eighth hole hitter, you know, take your walks. I mean, there's certain times when you have to expand your zone, hitting eighth to drive in a run. But Bryce Harper's done such a nice job of staying within himself, not trying to do too much. Regardless if Babe Ruth's hitting behind him or whoever, you're not going to pitch to me, I'm going to take my walk.
Clint Robinson hit a ball that would be a base hit right now his last time up, but they were in the shift. With the bases loaded, the Diamondbacks can't do that. He had a line drive out into right field on a hop to Aaron Hill. Looking to elevate here. Hellickson trying to get him to do just the opposite. And he gets the edge of the strike zone away. So into the 5 o'clock hour here. Is it rush hour on the bases? We'll find out in a moment. Clint Robinson has driven in 18 runs. Off the plate, counts even.
You know, you get 3 free base runners at the highest level. You got to make the other club pay. Hit by pitch and a couple of walks. If you're thinking right, you're thinking big inning.
Everything away, and now it's 2-1. Ball 3. He went 2-1 changeup and missed away. Crowd getting into it now. 3 base runners without any contact with the bats here.
You're looking for a pitch right in your happy zone right here. Bell tie right down the middle. He throws a pitch to a corner. You still got another pitch to work with, but your pitch in your zone, let it rip.
Got 82 to the corner.
It's a good take. 82 changeup. You don't want that 3-1. You got count leverage, bases loaded. He's got nowhere to put you. He paints a 3-1 changeup. So what? You got another pitch coming. You don't want that yet. If you're Clint Robinson, now you have to commit to it.
And Mercedes-Benz on the pitch track. If he threw it 3-1, will he throw it 3-2? That was a fastball away at 92. Hellickson started this inning with 28 pitches in 2 innings. He's retired 1 man here in the 3rd, and he's up to 54. Got him. Clint Robinson not happy with the call of Trip Gibson. That's a 2nd out of the inning.
Clint Robinson's got a pretty good eye, and initially that looked like it was outside, and you never see Clint Robinson argue, so I'm thinking this was outside. Hellickson gets the call, and now the line moves to Jason Worth. Everything outside the sequence.
He got a call for sure.
And you saw Hernandez pull his glove back into the strike zone, and Diamondbacks catch a break.
Big time break. Instead of 2-0, 1 out. It's up to Jason Worth now to deliver with 2 down. He almost hit it out of the ballpark first time up, about 398 to right center. Inciarte pulled it in right at the wall. Hellickson really slowing things down, and Jason does call time, or ask for it anyway.
He'll let it rip if he gets a fastball in the zone. 1-0 count. He's thinking big things.
Target in, and he kind of missed out over the inner half of the plate, up a bit above the belt. Counts even 1-1. Jammed on that one. That's a fair ball. Way behind third. Worth is safe. He slides in head first, and the Nats lead 2-0.
Was he safe, though?
We'll see. I'm sure Chip Hale and his guys are going to have a look at this. And they're going to challenge. Arizona clubhouse thinks Brian Gorman got it wrong.
I thought he was out from up here. We'll check it out together again. Yeah, he's out by a lot.
Not even close,
it's
really.
Not even close. And the reason you slide head first is you try to trick the umpire. You try to buy a call when you know you're out. And Jason Worth, a smart base runner, probably figuring that he was going to get beat by a step, so he dove. But that doesn't work anymore with replay. Even if you confuse an umpire, they're going to figure it out.
And the crowd collectively groans.
Jason just took off his helmet.
This inning's over.
That was not hard.
Well played by Jake Lamb. That was rather overwhelming evidence to overturn a call. And the Nats lead by 1. They've stranded 4.
What a play by Jake Lamb, and how long was this throw? Jason Worth, a chopper right down the line. Look where Lamb is, on the grass, all the way across. Good stretch by Jared Saltalamacchia, and a pretty good athletic play by the Diamondbacks third baseman right over the top. Got enough on it, good stretch, and just gets the hustling Jason Worth. Smelling the knock. Knew he had to go.
Yeah, we all liked it. So did Dan Ugla, and soon to be overturned. I think on the Exmo, it took the throw longer to get to the bag than the decision took that was made in New York. Top of the 4th inning, Cliff Pennington on a ball up and away. Joe Ross, first 3 innings, 45 pitches, 32 strikes.
Have you seen that sports science where they show the guy diving into first base and show how it's just a little bit slower than running? And actually, when you leave your feet, you start to decelerate before you hit the ground. And when you hit the ground, you really decelerate. But I think Jason Worth was out either way, whether he runs through it or he slides right there. And I know that a lot of guys will dive into first base just to try to buy the call.
Yeah. And there are times when that'll help you avoid a tag.
Right.
If a tag play has to happen with a first baseman coming off a bag. Boy, Joe Ross with a pitch up in the zone, 82, overpowering off-speed stuff right now. That's his 5th K of the day.
You know, until I saw that, I thought diving into first was faster. And you look at the Joe Ross slider. Because you're thinking, if I just leave my feet and propel my body forwards, how is staying on my feet and keeping my body back faster? But you don't think about how the dirt decelerates you and how once you leave your feet, you're slowing down immediately.
David Peralta, hard hit ball, and that's way over the head of Michael A. Taylor. Short hops the wall, and he has a 1-out double, his 3rd hit of the series. That ball got out there in a hurry, and the Diamondbacks have their 2nd base hit. That breaks a string of 9 in a row by Joe Ross.
And Peralta hit that one on the screws in the 1st inning. You remember Michael Taylor kind of broke in, then he made the adjustment, caught it over his left shoulder going toward the fence. That one was hit a little bit better and a little bit farther. David Peralta's got sneaky pop.
10 homers on the year, 50 RBIs. So here's the 3rd baseman, Jake Lamb, who made the outstanding play a moment ago. In the series, 4 for 10 with a run batted in. Nats have had the early lead in all of these games, with the exception of the first night when they just fell so far behind they couldn't come back. 3 in the 1st on Tuesday, 2 in the 1st last night. A run in the 2nd today. This one in the air to left for Jason Worth. Ross gets a 2nd out. He'll face Aaron Hill.
Annual food drive presented by Harris Teeters, returning Nats Park August 8th and 9th. Nats are going to take on the Rockies both those days. Bring your non-perishable food items to the center field gate through the 2nd inning. And if you donate at least 3 items, you'll receive 2 tickets to a future Nats home game while supplies last. For more details, go to nationals.com/community.
Aaron Hill in the series, 0 for 8. Ground ball to Ian Desmond, first time up. And this one to Escobar, right by the bag. Sidearm, right on target, close playing out. Boy, things happen quickly and for the most part really well with Ross pitching. The home run guy, Ian Desmond, straight ahead.
In life's most important connections, 1-0 as we go to the bottom of the 4th inning. Joe Ross doing his thing, folks. He's been fantastic as usual. Ian Desmond, the offense, and I mean the offense. The Nats have 1 hit today, and there it is. Ian Desmond with a bolt, his 12th home run of the year, into the Diamondbacks bullpen. 1-0. Nats.
First career hit against Hellickson. He was 0 for 3.
I said that so slow. I scored Yunel Escobar on the Worth infield single on my scorecard and didn't change it.
Well, he talked about the bent arm swing. That's how you get to that pitch that he hit out first time up. I have saved myself about a pint of whiteout by not writing plays in the book anymore until the folks in New York decide.
Hey, that's good. That stuff's expensive, man.
It is. And it gets really gooey this time of the year. Ian Desmond in the series, 2 for 9. That didn't miss by much, trying to run that fastball back. Hellickson, first 3 innings, 58 pitches, 34 strikes. He had a long 3rd inning with a hit batter, and then walks to Rendon and Harper. Struck out Robinson, full count pitch. Big curveball, really hit well and way foul. Look out. What's going, Mom?
Is everybody okay? Got a souvenir? High fives for the kids? Nicely done.
So Ian Desmond works the count full. Hard to walk him 22 times all year. Sits safely now in 12 of his last 16 games with 16 hits. 5 homers, 11 RBIs. And he roasts another one to left. That's going to hit off the wall. He's going to have to hurry to get into second. And he's in there standing up. 6 total bases for Ian Desmond, who hit that ball hard enough with any altitude to be a home run.
So the day off yesterday for Ian Desmond suited him nicely here today. A home run first time up, a double second time up, and a ringing double. Almost the same swing as his home run. Both balls absolutely roasted. And just for a second there, Ian Desmond thought he had a second home run. Did you see the pause right after contact? Then he realized it was too low and hustled into second base for a leadoff double here in the 4th.
All right, up to the 7 and 8 guys to get it done now to make it 2-0. Wilson Ramos hit a hard line drive to Yasmani Tomas in right field. First time up. Looking for RBI number 46, or a chance for Taylor to drive in number 46. With that in mind, Hellickson misses inside. He doesn't want Ramos going the other way. So Ian Desmond, couple of extra base hits today. Homer number 12, double number 18.
Wilson Ramos, a guy that can take an inside fastball and get it to the right side. I would say besides Yunel Escobar, the best guy in this situation for the Nats. He's really adept at the inside-out swing and moving a runner.
Bottom of the 4th inning, Nationals trying to double their lead. The hits are even at 2. Joe Ross pitching beautifully. So a couple of runs would be big for him to go through the middle part of this game.
Rendon, too. Rendon's good at moving runners.
Outfield around to the right for Ramos as well. Shortstop Pennington hanging around Desmond there as he tries to get a big secondary lead. Breaking ball, and the count's 2-1.
Trying to get him to roll over to shortstop. Good take. You don't want that pitch yet.
Out of play, well struck to the other side.
That's the section, boy. We should do a pie chart on most foul balls per section at Nats Park. I guarantee you it's right there. It seems like 3 or 4 every game easy. Or 62 every game easy. Cotton candy for everybody.
Superman couldn't get that ball.
Mom's buying.
2-2. Some long counts for Jeremy Hellickson in the first 4 innings of this game. He's walked 3, hit a batter.
If I'm Chip Hale next year, first thing I say in spring training, I get the team together, is guys are really going to work on our tempo on the mound.
Yeah.
We're going to get it and go. But it's hard to argue with when you look at their defense and the errors they haven't made this year. They're as good as anybody defensively.
Oscar Hernandez behind the plate today. Ramos right up the middle. Desmond's going to tear to third, but Henley will stop him. What a good at bat by Wilson Ramos. And the Nats, the bottom of the order, Desmond and Ramos have hit the ball hard 4 times today. First and third, nobody out.
Great at bat by the Buffalo. Starting to heat up. Got the big hit the other night. Hit a bullet his first time up to right field. This time trying to move Ian Desmond. Bullet back up the middle. Desmond had to pirouette to find the baseball, make sure the shortstop wasn't behind him before he advanced. First and third, nobody out.
Big spot for Michael A. Taylor, pitcher next.
Line moving.
Taylor got jammed first time, hit a comebacker to Hellickson. Runners in scoring position in the National League and major leagues with Posey on top of Taylor. Xander Bogaerts of the Red Sox, the only American leaguer in that category, at least 100 plate appearances. Michael A's driven in 13 runs his last 14 games.
He hit a far home run last night. 9th inning, Michael Taylor, boom. Joins the double-digit home run club with a shot over the red seats in left center field. And Jose Lobaton, who singled, got to jog around with Michael Taylor.
Four RBIs in this series. And now he gets the count in his favor. That's a foul tip, and it's 2-2.
Well, this is where hitting eight's a little bit tricky in the sense that, Joe Ross is on deck. He can swing the bat, but he's still the pitcher. So now Michael Taylor feeling the responsibility to drive in this run a little more than he would if he was leading off and had 2-3 coming behind him. So we talked about expanding your strike zone. Sometimes in the 8th spot, this might be one of those times. Strike, near strike, try to put it in play.
Another long count. This is the 6th time already Hellickson's gone to 3-2. Look at those numbers. 385 on 3-2 pitches. Michael A. out ahead of that 77, as you would expect, able to stay alive.
That one was sitting up there a little bit.
With nobody out. Taylor, slow roller right side. They'll have to hurry to double him up. No chance at first. And the Nats do cash in a run with Desmond coming home.
Was he on the bag at second? A lot of action down the Nats dugout. Matt Williams on the top step. They're telling Wilson Ramos to stay at second base. They might take a look at this one. You have the neighborhood play, but if the throw takes you off the base, can still challenge it. Let's see, Randy Knorr having a chat. What do you got? Boy, he could read his lips. Says he's off, but it's close. Did you see that with Randy Knorr? He said, says he's off the base, but it's close. And Matt Williams said, headsets, let's challenge it.
Well, this is quite a situation here with Joe Ross next. Will he be swinging away or trying to bunt one runner or two runners ahead? Close, huh?
Let's see. So the throw takes him that way. Is there enough evidence with that last shot to overturn it is the question. And if his foot is barely on the base, that's all it takes, just that little tippy toe on the base.
Mark Carlson on your right made the call. Brian Gorman is the crew chief.
I'm on a roll. I'm going to say he's out. I'm going to say he just nicked the back of the base with his foot.
Crowd has seen it a couple of times, really not sure how to react.
And that tells you a lot, too.
It does.
And as we've seen, the longer we see the replays, it's got to be more than obvious for the crew in New York to overturn the crew that's on the field. And in my opinion, they don't like showing up their buddies unless they have to.
Yeah, the Arizona challenge on the Worth grounder last inning, so obvious. One of the shortest we've ever seen.
I'm going to go grab some lunch. You want something?
I'm good.
You all right?
Yeah.
All right, I'll be back. Oh, no, wait.
Runner is out. 4-6 force out. RBI fielder's choice by Michael A. Taylor.
Yeah, I didn't see that one getting overturned. But an RBI put the ball in play with 2 strikes. You didn't think they were going to turn the double play with the speed of Michael Taylor. Good at bat. 2-0 Nats. Nicely done.
So Joe Ross most probably trying to move 1 runner here. And you don't have to lay down a great bunt to get Michael A off and running. Taylor has stolen 12 bases in 15 attempts. And with the thought that he might be running on the pitch they throw over.
I thought that was pretty cool shot we had of Randy Norris saying they're telling me it's close, but he's off. And then Matt Williams went right to we're challenging that. That was interesting. The communication that goes on from the clubhouse to the dugout to the skipper, then to the umpires.
Taylor holding, and the bunt stays fair for a bounce and then made a bit of a right turn. For the Achiever and You, PNC Bank with our minor league report. Sammy Solis sent down recently. Last 4 games, no earned runs, a hit, a walk, 2 saves. Striking guys out. Blake Treinen back in the Nats bullpen today, replacing Aaron Barrett. And Treinen had 5 appearances at Syracuse without giving up a single run, and he pitched more than an inning a couple of times down there.
Apparently throwing his 4-seamer to lefties and not the 2-seamer that kind of runs back over the plate. We'll see.
0-1 now to Ross. Hellickson with the step off.
Like we always say, Michael Taylor will take care of the bunt. Just get it down. He'll get to second base for you. It doesn't have to be perfect.
Joe saw the breaking ball, pulled the bat back. 1 ball, 1 strike. Now he's got to set his sights on the middle of the diamond. One ball and 2 strikes with 1 out.
It's a good take by Joe Ross. You saw him start to go for the curveball, realizing that it was going to break out of the zone, pulled the bat back.
Two nothing Nats. Another run here after the Desmond double. The Ramos single, the Taylor ground ball. And now Ross trying to give Escobar a chance to put the Nats up by 3. Lays it down. Ball deadens. Not that far from home plate. Hernandez thought about second. Throws to first. Michael A. Taylor in scoring position. And for Joe Ross, his first big league sacrifice.
No, 2 strikes. That's a good job. 2-0 ball games. Helping yourself out as a pitcher. And Michael Taylor took care of this bunt. Watch Hernandez pop out of his catcher squat, and he's thinking about getting Michael Taylor at second base. The ball deadened right in front of home, and Hernandez, with any other runner, might have thought about getting the lead runner. The ball deadened right there. He pounces on it, and watch Michael Taylor do the rest of the work. Look, the speed of Taylor made that sacrifice bunt.
Yunel Escobar, 0 for 1, hit by a pitch last time after really hurting himself on a foul ball to the front foot. Low and away. 85 pitches for Jeremy Hellickson with 2 outs in the 4th inning. Nats just wrapped up their 2nd time through.
New York's saying that they could confirm that the foot was on the base. A lot of times you hear there wasn't enough evidence to overturn, but they confirmed toes on the bag.
Escobar not biting on a couple of low pitches. 2 balls, no strikes. Jose Lobaton, what a good job he's done for the Nats in a backup role. More playing time lately. Catcher's observing every little thing that goes on out there.
No, he's observing all right. He is more than observing.
In the air to right by Escobar. Now I know what our director and our camera guys were waiting for. The Nats pick up a run on 2 hits. They've stranded 5. Back to the not so good looking Shades.
Major League Baseball monitor the innings limits of their players coming back from injuries, their pitchers, as well as their younger pitchers who are building up their arms as they work their way through the organization. The Nationals are doing just that with Joe Ross. Let's take a look at where Ross's innings are this year compared to last year. He threw 121 2/3 innings last season. He's up to 119, including his 4 innings today. The Nationals typically add on about 30 to 40 innings on top of what a pitcher has done the previous year, so that sets Joe Ross for about 150, 160 innings. That might mean he only has 6 or so starts left in him after this outing. That could, obviously change a little bit here or there, but that will be something that the Nationals will monitor over these next handful of weeks. They can limit his innings in the minor leagues. They can keep him to maybe 4 or 5 innings. They won't do that when he's up here in the bigs. They're going to let him go.
Yeah, long first inning with 18 pitches. Very economical since. He'll face 2 batters here in the 5th. He struck out first time. Saltalamacchia and Tomas. Saltalamacchia looking And then he'll hook one over to the right side. So 54 pitches, 38 strikes through 4. Rendon out onto the right field grass by about 15 feet. And ball sky deep to right. Harper going back. Bryce watching it leave the yard. And it's a 2-1 game on Saltalamacchia's 3rd homer of the year. His 2nd with the Diamondbacks. They've been the comeback kids the last couple games in this series.
Well, he's gotten 3 hits in this series, and all 3 hits have driven in runs. This time he drives himself in. Got a slider out over the plate, little extension. See Anthony Rendon bottom of the screen. He knew it was out. That's all Bryce Harper can do is watch. Is all of a sudden you got a 1-run ball game.
Ross, 4th homer given up at the big league level. And here's Yasmani Tomas. Into center. That's going to drop. No wait for Michael A. Taylor to challenge that one. You got some breeze kicking up in the ballpark suddenly. And the Diamondbacks airing a few things out here with the bats. The catcher Oscar Hernandez will be next. First time up, he hit a bouncer back to Joe Ross.
Fister stretching out in the Nats bullpen.
Bullpen had to pitch 4 innings last night, 3 innings Tuesday and Monday. No balls, 2 strikes. Ross keeping the ball down effectively. Hernandez only 20 at bats at the big league level this year, 3 hits and RBI. His 9th game of the year, on the DL 3 months with that broken hamate bone left hand. Had him reaching, and he just got a piece of it. Big breaking ball to strike him out. Number 6 for Joe Ross.
That slider looked like a fastball for a long ways. I mean, you had to look at the gun at the very end. Look at it straight and then drops out of the zone at the very end. So a slider that really mimicked a fastball for about, what, 57 feet? Last 3 feet just broke under the bat. Nice pitch. See the release point on top. Well executed.
Mercedes-Benz on the initial pitch track. 1 out. Hellickson bunting. Bunts it nice and hard out to the middle of the field, about halfway toward 90 feet. Clint Robinson to Rendon, 2 outs.
Be sure to text Masson's word of the day, smile, to 29292 for your chance to win a meet and greet with Anthony Rendon and a $25 Hair Cuttery gift card brought to you by Hair Cuttery, home of the smile back guarantee. No small print, just big smiles. I thought we might get a yawn right there. It was close. Did you see that?
1 o'clock game, maybe. All the afternoon games in baseball done with for now. Limited schedule on this Thursday tonight. Ender Inciarte, a fly ball to center and a swinging strikeout. So that went off the plate 2-0.
Well, it's going to be tough to score Tomas right here. I mean, everybody cheating in. Inciarte, a guy that just slaps the ball around. Good contact hitter. Barrel the baseball, but now as an outfielder, you're cheating in. Tomas doesn't run well, so you have a chance to throw somebody out right here if you're in the Nats outfield for sure.
.39 strikeouts, 326 at bats for the 24-year-old from Maracaibo, Venezuela, Ender Inciarte. He was actually Phillies property. They took him in the Rule 5 draft and returned him back to the Diamondbacks. That was 2 years ago. Then he came up last year and hit .278 in 118 games. And the ball popped up over to the left side. Escobar getting over by the barrier, but a couple of rows deep.
Yunel not moving very well since he fouled that ball off his foot. Kind of hobbling around at third base.
Yeah, Nats can get a lead a little bigger than the one they have now. We could see Espinosa or Dan Uggla later do some shifting around in the infield. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The thing you like about Joe Ross, though, he's not out there 2-1, 3-1, 3-2 on a lot of hitters. I mean, teams will get their share of hits against him because he's around the plate. But you've got to get like 3 hits to score 1 or 2 against him because he's just not going to give up free base runners. Hot shot, Desmond on a hop from the bag. He's got it. So does Robinson. And so the home run by Saltalamacchia makes it 2-1. Now Rendon, Harper, and Robinson coming up. A little 180 over on the third base line. They're going to race out to left center today and then make the turn out there in dead center field. Give the bleacher fans a little treat today. Teddy, GPS. Down goes Calvis. Teddy disappears as tall Tom Jefferson wins one. Oh, I get it. Right in front of the Geico sign in right center. Okay. It's all about branding. Bottom of the 5th. Here's a brand for you. Honda. with our due-ups. Varying stats on Rendon, Harper, and Robinson. Anthony Rendon today 0 for 1 with the base on balls. Bottom of the 5th underway on Hellickson's 88th pitch. So since coming back, Anthony Rendon 10 for 40. Twelfth game back. He's at Savely in 7 so far. They're going to target the inner half. And that's a hot shot right to Jake Lamb.
National season plan holders, you can renew your plans for the 2016 season. Plan holders who renew by August 31st. You also get 2015 postseason tickets. Visit nationals.com/renew for all your renewal and postseason tickets. Renew right now. You kids. For you. Father, son, how great is that shot? That's what it's all about. Day game, father, son.
Bryce Harper, base hit.
Bryce Harper, base hit.
Off-speed pitch. And Bryce has now hit safely 14 of his last 15 games, and he started the day on base percentage .455. They tried to surprise him with a throw behind him there, but he's been on base 3 times.
Well, he tried to surprise Tomas, who put his head down. Bryce Harper was thinking about 2. Did a nice job of letting that curveball travel, backed it up, took it right out of Hernandez's glove. And you see the side swing, the Exmo, and just off the end of the bat, little bat shake right there, and Tomas ready. Bryce Harper was thinking about 2. Good turn.
Yeah.
Good aggressive turn.
Glenn Robinson 0 for 2. So they've played 3 different defenses on him today. Second baseman Aaron Hill with 2 outs in the first, out into right field. Last time up, bases were loaded. They played it because they had to, pretty straight up. And now this time Hill not as deep. Outside, ball 1. Clint came into this one 281 over his last 45 ball games. Hellickson starting to get above his average number of pitches now. He's had a strange year in terms of how long he's lasted in some games. He's gone 6 innings only 11 times, 7 innings just twice, and 6 times this year he has pitched fewer than 5 innings. His last outing 3 1/3 in a 9-2 loss at Houston. Robinson out to right. Kind of got him down around the end of the bat as well. 2 outs. It'll be up to Jason Worth.
You talk about cloudy day games. These don't happen very often.
Yeah.
And as a player, you wish for, you hope for, you love cloudy day games. You see the baseball so much better on defense. You see it better at the plate. The glare off the baseball isn't there when you're hitting. That's why guys wear the eye black.
Bryce Harper gets secondary lead, gets to second. That was a swing and a miss. And you would think pass ball on Oscar Hernandez. So that's the call to get a Nat into scoring position. Kind of boxed it, huh?
You saw where his eyes were. His eyes were out, looking toward the pitcher. He didn't track the ball into his glove. Actually closed his glove before the ball got there. Now Jason Worth has a chance to pick up an RBI.
He has 2 in this series. Pretty big rip right there.
Watch Hernandez's eyes. They don't track to the ball, and he blinks at the wrong time.
Nobody will be able to throw Bryce Harper out from the outfield where they're playing. Now on a 2-strike count, that's a wild pitch. Harper thought about going home until the pitcher made a move to the plate. And he was well around the third base bag, so Jason Worth reaches on a 2-out strikeout.
Well, good hustle by Bryce Harper, and his only read right there was Jeremy Hellickson. If Hellickson was late getting to home, he was going. You know, the ball ricocheted far enough away where Bryce Harper with his speed was thinking about it, and Hellickson hesitated a bit before he covered home. Watch. And now he starts jogging in, and that's where Bryce Harper's decision was made. Hernandez got the ball, Hellickson covered home, and he had to hit the brakes hard. So one more wild pitch, the Nats have a run.
This has been kind of crazy. 3 walks, a hit batter, now a strikeout guy reaches base. And the Nats have 4 hits all afternoon, but 2 of them belong to the man in the batter's box. And we'll see how careful they are with Ian Desmond, who has really hit 2 rockets against Hellickson. The 2nd inning homer and the 4th inning double off the left field wall on a fly.
Well, so is Wilson Ramos. They have to pitch to him. Ramos has squared up the ball twice, too. Desmond's got some protection. They have to throw to him.
Good block by Hernandez.
No blink. Hernandez getting beat up this inning. Curveball, curveball, in the dirt, in the dirt. And with Bryce Harper on third, he's making sure that ball stays in front of him. Another one in the dirt. And they're pitching around Desmond. You called it, Carp. He's not getting anything to hit. Wilson Ramos is seeing him well, too. Or maybe it's bullpen time after this. Who knows?
Looks like Andrew Chafin. Nats Park at 6 p.m. They wanted nothing to do with Ian Desmond, so the bases are loaded. And he'll take his chances with Wilson Ramos. That's his 4th walk of the day. Ramos, as FP said, has hit the ball well twice. Line drive to right. Mike Harkey, the pitching coach, for a visit. And then a line drive just as hard up the middle, so he's 1 for 2. Nats a chance to take a 2-1 lead and bust this thing open 5th inning. I remember Mike Harkey pitching for the Cubs in his career. Don't know if he was slow.
Remember facing?
But he sure has a slow staff.
Remember facing Mike Harkey?
Big fella, huh?
Yeah, good fastball.
Ramos.
Two outs. Good speed at first.
Great base runner at second. And speed at third. And Wilson doesn't bite on the hook.
I'm betting on a curveball in the dirt right here. I don't know about you.
Well, if he wants to go to 2-0, that's fine with the bases loaded. One of those might get away. It's been a bit of a walk on the wild side this inning. He got a fastball ripped into left. 2 runs will score. Wilson Ramos, 5 RBIs in this series, and he puts the Nats on top 4-1. He has roasted 3 balls today.
He has. That's why you were wondering the pitch around with Ian Desmond. Obviously, he's done the damage here today with the home run and double. But Wilson Ramos, right behind Ian Desmond, has swung the bat just as well without the extra base hits. A bullet to right his first time up, a bullet up the middle his second time up, and now a 2-out RBI. A couple of stakes for the Buffalo. Nice swing.
I tell you, it encourages me a lot to see Wilson starting to pull the ball a little more than he had the last couple of weeks. He just wears out Arizona pitching, and Chip Hale's going out to get his right-hander. So another game, the 7th of the year, where Hellickson pitches fewer than 5 innings. 4 2/3 today, 3 2/3 his last time out at Houston. This call to the bullpen, packaged by the UPS store. Your one-stop shop for all your small business needs. Let us handle your mailbox service needs. We love logistics. Looks like the left-hander, Chafin. Is presented by authority of the Washington Nationals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the expressed written consent of the Washington Nationals. Wilson Ramos delivers, and he's delivered some hits in this series. In fact, Ramos and Taylor, the 7 and 8 hitters in this series, are doing some damage. They have combined to drive in 10 runs. Andrew Chafin, 2 scoreless innings here in the 5-4 Nats win on Tuesday.
Yeah, fastball 92, slider 82, occasional changeup at 84. 44th appearance. Opponent's hitting .212 against the Diamondbacks left-hander.
He struck out Michael A. the other night. In the 6th inning, he worked the 6th and the 7th. Taylor 0 for 2, but an RBI on a ground ball last time up. Joe Ross in the on-deck circle. He's thrown 71 pitches in 5 innings. So the bottom of the order doing lots of damage. All the RBIs from 6, 7, and 8 today.
Definitely a green light situation with the pitcher on deck. And Matt Williams talking about that the other day. Some guys comfortable swinging 3-0, some guys uncomfortable. But this is a situation where Michael Taylor's been swinging it. And you'd think if he gets something he likes, he's firing away. Let it rip.
Well, trying to put the Nats up by a real big number. This all started, other than the Harper base hit, with that swing and miss strikeout on the wild pitch by Jason Worth. Desmond a walk, Ramos the big hit, and a 2-run 5th. Bases will be loaded for Joe Ross. The Nats have been given 5 walks and a hit batter today. First time, or last time up, got his first big league sacrifice. Now looking for his first big league RBI or RBIs.
And looking for his first big league hit out of the infield.
Little flare, right field, falling, and caught by Tomas to save at least 2 runs. Yasmani Tomas keeps this game from going to 6-1.
Pretty good effort right here, just laying out, was playing shallow to start, got a good jump. Ball stays in his glove, nice play.
Able to tack on a couple right there, 4-5-0, and now it's up to Joe Ross to shut things down for a while.
It always seems like Joe Ross is working ahead. Ross is boss, and I'm sure he's going to follow you on Twitter. Let's check out some Joe Ross strikeouts today. The slider's been the pitch. Changeup, which we haven't seen a lot of this year, has been nice. But when you talk to opposing hitters, they say it's tough to pick up the rotation on the Joe Ross slider. There's a see Cliff Pennington going down. And Hernandez going down too. Now it's time for Toyota Keys for Kids. The Washington area Toyota dealers want to help children and their families by making a donation of $37 to the Children's Inn at NIH for every strikeout by a Nats pitcher this season.
Top 6, 2, 3, 4 for the D-backs. Pennington, Peralta, and Lamb.
Big inning, trying to get it to Casey Jansen, Drew Storn, and Jonathan Papelbon, 7, 8, and 9.
Pennington 1 for 2 today in the series, 2 for 5. Right side, Rendon to his left. Got himself over there in a hurry. Nice short throw for the out. So the D-backs box, one swing, their offense. The leadoff home run last inning for Jared Saltalamacchia, who drove in his 3rd run of the series with his 3rd hit. He had a base hit by Tomas after that, and then Ross got busy and retired the next 3. He retired 9 in a row from the 1st into the 4th inning. Here's David Peralta, who doubled over the head of Michael A. Taylor last time up.
He's the one Diamondback that's really seeing Joe Ross today. And what do you think Joe Ross's reaction was when he looked at the Diamondbacks lineup today?
No Goldschmidt.
No Goldschmidt, no Pollock, no Castillo. No Owings, who's been swinging the bat well this series.
Yeah. Nick Ahmed, the shortstop.
Had to be a little bit fired up. I mean, still the big league, still big league hitters, but just a different field than the Diamondbacks lineup today. Those guys getting a day off.
Yeah, because you're always kind of doing the math with that one guy, aren't you?
Yep.
I mean, even when it's an inning away, okay, if I get him in order here, when do we see Goldschmidt? If a couple of guys get on, the guys who change the mindset of the other ball club, like Bryce does for Nats opponents. Fastball up. I mean, overpowering a good hitter on a 1-2 count. Strikeout number 7.
Well, when you're spinning that slider in there all day for a strike and you're starting it high, and as a hitter your eyes see it high, a lot of times you have a slider with 2 strikes on the back of your mind. Maybe why David Peralta chased that fastball up.
And you and I talk about this on occasion. What the hitter sees, that first replay sure looked like a fastball that was going up on its way in. Gave that look of a rising heater. That was really impressive. Got a swing on that breaking ball from Jake Lamb. 1-1.
Some scouts today asking me about Joe Ross before the game, and I said, watch, he's not 22. His birth certificate is wrong. His presence is that of a guy that's been in the league for 10 years. Not flustered out there. Nothing rattles him. He pounds the strike zone. You talk to his teammates, and the first 2 words that come out are not scared.
Yeah. And we saw that on June 6th, didn't we, against the Cubs? First start.
Yeah, first start.
Not phased.
Older brother in the big leagues. They work out together. They live together. Obviously has an influence because, I mean, he's just got an idea.
That was cool when Big Brother came over from Cincinnati, where the Padres were, to watch Joe make his debut. Well, I tell you, Ross and Trey Turner, that could be the gift that keeps on giving. 3 balls, 2 strikes with 2 outs. And that'll sneak through. A lot of topspin on that one when scooting by Rendon. Jake Lamb first hit today, and in the series he's 5 for 12.
All right, the Peanuts, where are they at? Pfister Stadium? Obviously, we wouldn't be doing the promo. August highlights include Military Appreciation Night. That's all you need to know. For all your ticket promotional information, visit PotomacNationals.com. Go see the kids play. They got a good ball club.
Aaron Hill has pulled 2 ground balls. Desmond and Escobar have thrown him out. Right now, Joe in the mid-80s on his pitch count.
You know, when I said he has an idea, what does that mean? Well, he knows what he wants to do to a hitter. You saw him right there shaking off Wilson Ramos. A lot of times youngsters, their first go around the big leagues, 22 years old, whatever the catcher puts down, they just go, If he doesn't like the sign and he has a pitch that he's more committed to, he'll shake you off and go with that. Once again, not scared.
(2-0). Had a hitter reaching on a 2-0 pitch. All right, 93. That was not a full swing at that. Blake Trinan recalled today to replace Aaron Barrett in the Nats bullpen. Off speed. Escobar has to back up, but there's a short throw to Rendon. And Joe Ross, after pitching 5 innings in his major league debut, has gone at least 6 times in a row now. Impressive rookie. 4-1 Nats. Pitching for the Nats. 4-5-0 Washington, 1-5-0 for Arizona. I mean, the poise of this young man, you know, you don't want to beat it to death, but I mean, you just don't see that in a lot of guys his age these days.
Well, that's how you stay in the big leagues. You come up here, you want to impress, not so much with your stuff. That helps, of course. You got to have stuff. But how do you carry yourself? You know, do you act like you belong? Your mound presence, what you do in the 4 days between your starts. And I just think latching on to Max Scherzer's had such a great effect on Joe Ross and his older brother Tyson, that you're seeing a really polished 22-year-old, a guy that's making a case that I'm here to stay at the big league level.
You know, you see a lot of guys hoping to get through 6 or hoping to get to the 7th inning. He expects to. We'll see how Matt plays it this afternoon. He's in the 90s on his pitch count. Chris Owings on a double switch will come in and rather switch over to second base, and this will be Alan Webster, who was just recalled yesterday by the D-backs to add to their bullpen. They sent the game 1 starter Zach Godley back down and brought in Webster. 91 way up and in to Escobar, who's probably seen way too much of that.
Now, fastball from Webster averaging 92, slider 85, occasional curveball, changeup 84.
'87 upstairs.
You know, asking him, is that the top of the zone or something to that effect?
Webster came over from Boston with Ruby De La Rosa in the Wade Miley deal last December. 11 starts for the Red Sox last year. That is some kind of changeup, diving down and in to the right-handed hitter. 1 out. Mercedes-Benz will try to track this.
Yeah, pretty good changeup right here, pulling a string, and it looks like a fastball. And you talk about this all the time. The changeup in is such a good pitch. You know, as a hitter, you see the pitch in. The changeup is supposed to look like a fastball, only slower. And when you see it in, you really think it's a fastball. And you see hitters all the time out in front.
Casey Jansen up now for the top of the 7th inning. We think 89 pitches, 62 strikes for Russ, so not quite at 90 yet. The Nats box score a busy one. Look to the bottom of the order, starting with Ian Desmond. Homer, double walk. Ramos, single, 2-run single. Taylor, a walk and an RBI ground ball. And Joe Ross got his first big league sacrifice.
Did they give you that baseball?
I don't know.
To put on your mantle?
I know a couple of years ago, Levon was kind of excited when he got number 100.
Come over to the house. Hey.
You should have seen that 28-foot bunt I laid down to get this ball.
See this ball?
And that one that Ross laid down was really more like 8 feet from home plate, if that.
It's my first big league sacrifice.
4-pitch walk. Anthony Rendon, and Webster's fastball is running and rising all over the place. Escobar, the only Nat who had ever seen Webster for one at bat in the American League, and he's been struck out. Rendon's been walked, and here comes Bryce Harper. All over the bases again today. 2 walks, a single, and his 71st run scored.
He's due for a big fly. Really is.
It's been over a week.
It's been a minute.
A week ago yesterday, when Bryce launched those 2 home runs against Tom Kohler and Sam Dyson in Miami. And if Tom Kohler doesn't see Bryce Harper again this year, that'll be fine with him. And he can get in line for that one.
The Washington, D.C. Lexus dealers are donating $1,250 to the Children's National Health System for every home run a Nats player hits this season. For a wonderful cause. Lexus, the pursuit of perfection.
And with Desmond's today, the Nats have hit 106, 4th most in the National League. 0-2 to Bryce. Trying to serve one out to left, and he tries to stay alive. And what a great effort for Lamb. Long way to go. Just couldn't get there.
Great effort by Jake Lamb. I'll tell you what, the more you see Jake Lamb play, what's not to love? The guy swings the bat. He plays a pretty good third base, and the effort right here. And he was playing shortstop. I mean, they had the shift on for Bryce Harper. He had to go a long way. Goes into a slide and just misses it. But if you're Chip Hale, you got to love that.
Well, outside, ball one. For 4-1 Washington. Single runs in the second and the fourth, and the 2-run blow by Ramos. That base hit in the 5th inning. Well, this is Bryce's MO all year. If guys can get him 0-2, you usually see a foul ball or two off to the left side. Then they'll try something different. And then you see where the count goes from there. Everything away here. Target in. So they try something different. Well, here you go. Counts back even, 2-2. Now it's full.
Guaranteed that Bryce is leading the league in 0-2 to 3-2. Guaranteed. I mean, you see it all the time. They get ahead, a couple foul balls, nibble, 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 3-2.
Bryce Harper, as far as we know, that's the 3rd time this year he's walked after going 0-2. I would have thought that number was higher, but he must do some damage on all those 3-2 pitches instead of taking the walks. That just sounds really low.
It does. It seems like he's 0-2 to 4-2, way more than that.
4-2, I like that count. He walks for the 3rd time today. And for Bryce, that's 79 on the year. Clint Robinson 0 for 3. He's on the attack. Clint's driven in 18 this year. 0 for 3 today. 1 for 7 with a walk in the series.
The sign he's putting on right now is where he's throwing if both runners decide to take off, if you're wondering at home. One sign will say we're throwing to the lead runner at 3rd. One sign will say we're throwing to the trail runner at 2nd. Okay. It alerts the middle infielders if they need to cover 2nd if you decide to go for the trail runner on a double steal.
Way outside, 1-1. I'd say they really work away to left-handed batters, especially Bryce. Robinson as well. He's been to a couple of long counts today. He got called down on a pitch that was off the plate with 3 men aboard back in the third. Two-one. That's another one away, and the count goes ball 3. So one little amendment to the Bryce Harper number. Twice today it's happened, 0-2 to a walk. And surprisingly, it had only happened twice before today, so 4 on the year. But 2 right here. Robinson gets under one. Out to center for Inciarte. On the second out, Rendon tagging, not going anywhere. And then Bryce Harper put on the skids. When he saw Rendon hold up. 2 outs, it'll be up to Jason Worth.
All right, give me the T-Mobile fan of the game, Justin Savage. And Justin, you are a savage. Tweet your strongest fan photo at #NatsCouchCam, and you just might see yourself in an upcoming broadcast that's brought to you by T-Mobile. Good looking crew there. Thanks.
Here's Worth. 0 for 3, but in striking out last time up. Reached on a wild pitch. It led to 2 runs.
Me and Desmond having a nice day.
Bouncer hits off the mound and then skips right hugging the ground to Pennington. And the D-backs are out of the inning. The Nationals have stranded 10 base runners today. It's a 4-1 game into the 7th. About 2 hours and 37 minutes ago, we talked about the back end of the bullpen with Storn and Papelbon, and here's the guy that would bridge it to them, Casey Jansen, 7th inning.
The command has been great. The fastball averaging 88 miles an hour. And it seems like whoever's catching him really doesn't have to move their glove a lot lately. Wherever the catcher sets up, he is hitting the target.
Leadoff man, Saltalamacchia. who's 0 for 8 career against Casey. Pitch up. Jansen pitched a scoreless 7th here on Tuesday night with a strikeout. They got Ahmed, Pennington, and Inciarte. Spins that breaking ball, and everything Casey throwing lately has been right around the plate. He's made a very impressive turnaround, and I think you nailed it. Still a couple of months removed from injury, and now the guy's 100% healthy.
He is. I think he hypnotizes you with his rocking motion as a hitter. You're just in a trance, and then all of a sudden the ball's in the glove.
You know, and if you watch him from the center field camera, he almost falls toward the Nats dugout, and then the ball comes in somewhere behind that.
It's like you're getting sleepy. Sleepy. See?
That's where his body goes.
You just can't look at him. You got to pick up the release point, or else you have no chance. Human cup of coffee. Had a shot.
Saltalamacchia 1 for 2 with a home run today. And just as we talk about command, he walks the leadoff guy. Not a good thing with a 3-run lead or any kind of lead at this stage of a ball game. Next up, Yasmani Tomas. That's a hitter. He had retired 8 straight times, 5 times on strikes. And here's Tomas, who singled up the middle his last time.
I'll tell you what, a lot has been discussed around town about Matt Williams' use of the bullpen. You know, if you bring guys into the game and they get hitters out, you made a good move.
You're a genius.
If you bring guys into the game and they don't throw strikes and don't get anybody out, you made a bad move. Apparently, I mean, you're only as good as your players performing, and that's why we said in the beginning of this ball game today that it's on the players to play better.
Life of a manager.
You put out a lineup that gets 15 hits a night, you're a great manager. You bring in a pitcher that goes 1, 2, 3, you're a great skipper. Guys come in and give up the house. You know, that's part of the gig, I guess. I don't know.
I think Whitey Herzog summed it up really well years ago when he said, my #1 job as a manager is to put players in a position where they can do what they're capable of. Sometimes they execute and sometimes they don't. I mean, every manager in the big leagues knows his personnel better than anybody else.
Right.
So right up the middle, first 2 guys on. This is where the walk really thickens the plot as you get into the late innings. Now they're going to call back the catcher Hernandez, and it looks like Wellington Castillo, catcher for catcher, will pinch hit here.
Don't forget that the Diamondbacks have a fairly strong bench today.
Oh my gosh. Matt Thornton roughed up here last night getting ready. That's a strike on the inside edge.
And Casey Jansen saying sometimes the save is in the 7th, sometimes it's in the 8th, sometimes it's in the 9th. That's why, you know, his experience as a closer is so valuable. I mean, this is his personal save right here in the 7th. This is just as important as the 9th.
Up the middle, base hit. Around third and being held by Andy Green is Saltalamacchia, and the Diamondbacks have loaded the bases with nobody out. And the number 9 spot coming up. That's Chris Owings, who came in to play second base. And he's had a couple of hits and 2 RBIs in the series.
I'll tell you what, Paul Goldschmidt must really need a day off.
Yeah, this is
the double switch.
One of those "what are you waiting for" situations with him, huh?
And with the double switch, Owens already in the game and probably not wanting to burn another player. And you still have a middle infielder in Nick Ahmed, but
yeah, you know, he probably feels like he's playing with house money. He's on a 6-3 road trip. He's already gained at least a split in this series, and so if Goldschmidt not now, maybe later. There's plenty of baseball left in this game. Right now the Nats would love a ground ball at somebody. Owings has hit into 8 double plays this year, and he's facing Jansen for the first time.
Yeah, definitely trade a double play for a run right here. And you see Casey Jansen trying to pitch below the strike zone, get a ground ball. Or at least the bottom part of the strike zone.
Oh, 2 in a hurry.
You know, based on what's happened recently with the bullpen, an uneasy feeling here at Nats Park with the crowd, huh?
Yeah. Can't blame them. Close. This all started with a walk to Saltalamacchia. Tomas with a base hit. Then a pinch hit for Wellington Castillo. Nats bullpen threw a lot of pitches last night. Tanner Roark 32. Thornton threw 19. Felipe Rivero threw 30. Before Tyler Moore came in and got 2 outs on 5 pitches. And Tyler Moore, by the way, was warming up in the batting cage last night before he was brought in to pitch. Crazy game. Almost 4 hours last night.
Over 350 pitches thrown in that game.
Wow. And there was a lot of time in between a number of them. 1-2 with the bases loaded, nobody out. Little flare, center field, and it's caught by Rendon, and the runners all stay. Saltalamacchia came down the third baseline a bit, and he had to retreat. What a big first out.
Well, great play by Anthony Rendon, going away from the infield back to the play and showing a lot of range. And yeah, Jared Saltalamacchia down by 3 is not going to tag on this play ever. But you see Rendon, he was the only chance. Michael Taylor wasn't get there. Ian Desmond had an outside shot, but Rendon with a nice over-the-shoulder catch. Plants throws it home, and a big first out here in the top of the 7th. Speed guy down by 1 tags at third base, but down by 3 with what's normally a catcher. No shot.
Here's Inciarte. Hot shot. That's a fair ball. That's going to score a couple. It's going to be a 4-3 game with runners ending up at second and third. And Casey Jansen's given up a walk and 3 hits. And the Diamondbacks are in a big-time position to tie or more here in the top of the 7th.
Well, the bullpen nightmare continues. And Matt Williams is going to come out and get Casey Jansen and go to the left-hander, Matt Thornton.
I tell you, that leadoff walk set a bad tone for the inning. So, second and third, one out. Thornton and Pennington's schedule could be more. Be here tomorrow night. The Nats will face another De La Rosa. Jorge De La Rosa, the lefty. He's 7-4, 5-2 career against the Nats. And Jordan Zimmerman will try to win his 9th of the year. Rockies have never beaten him. He's 5-0 with a 2.20 against Colorado. Nats Extra, 6:30 tomorrow night.
Another De La Rosa. You see the arsenal for Matt Thornton, and he is in a big-time strikeout situation. Fastball 94, slider 84, changeup 87.
4th time this season that Matt Thornton has thrown back-to-back days. It was rough last night when he gave up the 3-run homer to Wellington Castillo. So here's Cliff Pennington, who turns around from the right side. He's hitting .364. But he's only had 11 at-bats from the right side this year with 4 hits. Catcher running at third.
See the infield at halfway. And that's based on the speed of Castillo at third base as an infielder right here. You got a runner on second, the go-ahead run. Matt Williams doesn't want to bring his infield all the way in on the grass, give his middle infielders a little more range. But if it's hit hard to them, they still have a chance to throw it home should Castillo go by playing halfway.
Line drive, and it hooked about 20 feet foul. Pennington way out ahead, 2-1. Blake Trinan just recalled.
To strike out in a big way right here, right now, if you're Matt Thornton. Let's see if they go with that fastball in again. Maybe up and in. Got a pitch to play with, base open.
Fly ball left field, not deep. Here comes Worth. Remember, that's the catcher Castillo at third, and he can't even think about going. 2 outs. A big fly ball for Matt Thornton with David Peralta coming in.
Huge fly ball and a huge out for the Nats here in the 7th inning. And they went exactly where you thought they'd go, up and in to Cliff Pennington to get the short fly ball out. Now they're going to talk it over and decide what they want to do to David Peralta. Got a left-hander on deck and Lamb. Left-hander in the box. Which one do you feel more comfortable with the go-ahead run on second base, the time run on third? Peralta, the last 17 games, 11 for 30 against left-handers, 367 average.
It's impressive. Bouncing ball, 2 hops to Desmond. What a good job by Matt Thornton to get this to the 7th inning stretch. And the Nats give up 2, but they still have the lead. It's the Hyundai 7.
The Diamondbacks, first time up in the 2nd inning, gone. 12th home run of the year, so he starts the day with a tater. There goes a no-hitter, there goes a shutout, 1-0 Nationals. Then the 2nd time up in the 4th, Ian Desmond hits a bolt in the gap. A little elevation, he had his 2nd home run. He walked in the 5th. And here he comes in the 7th, 4-3 as we go to the bottom of the 7th. And what a job by Matt Thornton wiggling out of that one. Nicely done.
Joe Ross still in line for the win, but some ways to go. And Wellington Castillo stays in to catch. Second inning of work for Allen Webster. Over to the left side. That one cut off by Jake Lamb. Wilson Ramos, the big blow of the day. And he's driven in 5 runs in this series.
And none bigger than these. The game winner the other night. Ryan Zimmerman, Jason Worth, and then today, the bolt to left. Scores Jason Worth again. But Wilson Ramos also having a big day. A couple of knocks, a couple of RBI.
8th inning Tuesday, 5th inning today. Ramos in this series, 5 for 10, 5 RBIs. Oh, what a play to his left by Lamb. Impressive series for Jake Lamb at third base, 2 outs.
Well, you could just tell Wilson Ramos, that was a great shot of his face. The look of confidence he had getting in the batter's box. It's a different look. And Jake Lamb has been outstanding at third base. Been good in the batter's box, good with the glove, lumber and leather. Having a nice series, and he's a good young player. Wilson Ramos getting that foot down a little earlier, and like you said, pulling the baseball.
Yeah. He's pulled it with authority twice today, gone up the middle once, and hit a line drive to right field. That's a tough luck 2 for 4. Michael A. Taylor 0 for 2 with a walk. Right now, Alan Webster, with the help of his defense, keeping this thing close for the D-backs. It's a breaking ball up. Ryan Zimmerman. Both benches looking pretty strong today. Drew Storen for the 8th. By the way, that was 6 pitches, 4 strikes for Matt Thornton to get 2 crucial outs.
And there's a Goldschmidt lurking somewhere down there.
Well, their pitcher spot is due up second. Michael A. Taylor. Is the umpire pointing at first base? No, he's calling it a foul tip, it appears.
Matt Williams doesn't have a challenge. Michael Taylor's looking to his manager. I don't know if he can hold him, can he? He doesn't have a challenge.
Yeah,
he can go ask him.
Maybe he just wants to know, and maybe Trip Gibson asks for some help from the other umpires here.
Remember, he challenged the force out at second base, whether Pennington had his foot on the base. It didn't get overturned, so he lost his challenge. Now he's just simply asking the umpires, like the old days, what can you check with the other guys? What did you see right there?
I thought I just saw Brian Gorman say no.
And also in the late innings, 7, 8, 9, you can ask them nicely if they'll look at it.
So umpire's review coming up here.
So this is an umpire's review if they get under the headphones. And what do you got? Hit his hand.
Yeah, it changed directions when it was beyond the bat. This will be interesting. And it appears that Nats will have a base runner. We'll see.
So you can ask the umpires to look at it. They can say no when you're out of a challenge.
Crowd about to see it.
And I don't know why every manager in the world wouldn't do this when he's out of a challenge.
He is going to first base. Well done by Matt Williams. Where the Nats have been given 5 walks and 2 hit batters today.
This replay thing just makes me scratch my head. You're out of challenges, but if you think a call was missed, you could go ask the umpires to look at it. And if they say yes, they go look at it, and you get a call overturned with no challenge left. The game today is just blowing my mind. Sorry. They got it right, and that's all that matters, I guess.
Ryan Zimmerman in this series 2 for 9 with a homer, 3 RBIs and a walk. He hits for Matt Thornton. Seven for 32 with 2 home runs since returning, and he's driven in 4. It's a big bat to get into the box after a borderline call.
Michael Taylor likes to go on the first pitch.
Step off by Webster.
I think you get a free runner here. You got to run early, don't you? It's almost like when you reach with an error with 2 outs. Playing with house money.
Taylor started, stopped. Zimmerman, and that's well foul. Well, whether it was 4-1 like it was or 4-3, the bullpen's all set up as we get into the 7 o'clock hour. I'm telling you, having the Diamondbacks in town and the way the Nats and them have played has been like a Yankee-Red Sox series.
All right.
I think that's the three of us and then Johnny and Ray. Thank you, guys.
Oh, he was going. That little lean going there. Just got back. You pitch out right here if you're Chip Hale? I don't see too many people pitch out anymore, do you?
Not many. You know, the count's in your favor. You're not giving away a whole lot. He goes, pitch up and in, good throw, and Michael A. Taylor gets in there. I'll tell you, Mark Carlson studied that for a while. And Michael A. Taylor has his 13th steal of the year.
I'll tell you what.
We think.
Every single call, I look to the dugout. That's what I do now. So Michael Taylor steals. He's called safe. It's a close play. You look down the dugout, and you always see the manager on the top step. You see coaches scrambling for the phone. Pretty good throw right there. Got rid of it quick. Had a tough pitch to handle. And did he get in there?
Looked like he missed the tag. I mean, Taylor looked like he got his arm to the bag. And now Chip Hale will challenge. The throw beat him, but was there a tag?
And is there enough to overturn it is always the question. Is there video evidence to overturn the safe call? I don't think so.
And FP is a middle infielder. I know a lot of times you guys would just lay your glove down in front of the bag, but it kind of looked like Taylor might have reached around there.
I'll tell you what, in the old days, umpires would tell you, just make it look good for me. I don't care if you tag him, but don't do the phantom tag where your glove's in the air and you're nowhere near. So when you're covering on a steal before replay, you just simply did exactly what he did right there and stick your glove in the dirt, and you got the call every single time. Because the umpires didn't want to get shown up by you missing by a mile, so you just stick your glove in the dirt, never really cared if you got a hand or not. But now you actually have to tag people with Exmo and replay and challenges. And if Michael Taylor's safe here, he's leading the league in reviews in one inning.
Umpire's review on the hit batter. Arizona challenge on the steal attempt. It just didn't look like Chris Owings moved his glove at all. And Taylor might have reached right around it. Kind of looking like the NFC East against the NFC West here with all these pauses.
Want me to order a pizza?
Make it a double. Right there, taking a long look at this one. Runner safe. So credit Michael A. Taylor with a really good reach around to earn his 13th steal of the year.
Well, he kind of tipped off that he was running on the throw over and then still went and got a good jump, another stolen base. And you had a feeling he was going to go early in the count, playing with house money and scoring position, and a big chance here for Ryan Zimmerman with 2 outs in the 7th.
1 ball, 1 strike to Ryan. Nats lead 4-3, bottom of the 7th inning. No way to reach that 86 diving away. And he gave him not as big a breaking ball that time, but a little further out. 2-2. I think Zimmerman's got a pretty good eye for that breaking ball now. And the count's full. First base open, Escobar on deck. A lot of ball clubs place Zimmerman slightly the other way in the outfield, but they give Ryan the right center gap. He shoots one to center. Ball's got some carry on it, and it hits the top of the wall. Zimmerman doubles, and it's 5-3 Nats. That's Ryan Zimmerman's first pinch hit RBI in quite some time. What a big one.
Well, you're just wondering if it had enough carry to ride out of this ballpark, because you can't hit it any better than Ryan Zimmerman just hit it. Got a fastball right down the middle. Watch the head to the baseball. The backspin created. And it was just a matter of would it get out of here? Hits the top of the wall. Played well by Inciarte, and a clutch knock for Ryan Zimmerman. Did he touch first? Pretty close. Ooh.
Top of the order, Escobar. He goes to right field, hitting one well, and Tomas is there. Huge run for the Nats. They've had some crazy things happen with 2 outs today. A strikeout wild pitch, now a hit batter, and a Zimmerman double. To add a run on and give his team a 5-3 lead. This is an Acura moment in history brought to you by the Acura. It's that kind of summer event. Levon on this day in 06 traded from the Nats to the Diamondbacks. Left-hander Matt Chico, right-hander Garrett Mott came to the Nats. 1 year before that, he threw the first ever pitch at RFK Stadium. Team had been on the road for a while. There's Frank greeting the crowd. President Bush. First pitch. Strike one. And Levo had it going on that night. That famous swing back fastball of his. Dazzling hitters in the low to mid 80s.
Little did he know he would have a bobblehead.
Years later
at Nats Park.
Here's Drew.
Well, extra run, huge. It takes the whole Paul Goldschmidt solo home run deal out of it. bench still strong for the Diamondbacks, and Drew Storen in the ball game. And Matt Williams pushing some right buttons today. Nice job with Matt Thornton. Nice job with Ryan Zimmerman.
Wow. When's the last time he didn't throw a slider for a strike?
And now he's got Drew Storen and Jonathan Papelbon set to go.
Wow. A.J. Pollock next. And he goes with the fastball. Desmond! A step or two and then straight up to the backhand side. He can't believe it.
What a play.
Dad, can I do that someday?
Now look at the look on the youngster of amazement. Watching Desmond to the backhand get up. I mean, didn't have a whole lot of time to set his feet to jump. The ball was hit so hard, and he can't believe it. Oh, my goodness.
He looks like he'll be a shortstop someday.
He does.
There's a pop-up on the next pitch by A.J. Pollock. Anthony Rendon, 2 outs. More on Drew from Dan.
Bob, Drew Storen's been great for the Nationals all year, but especially of late. Let's include his outing today. 4 strikes on 4 pitches. He's now retired 14 straight hitters that he's faced in his last 5 outings. 39 pitches now. 36 strikes in those 5 appearances. He's been tremendous. He says his mechanics are just locked in right now. Everything in the zone exactly where he wants it.
Unbelievable what he's done. Drew told me a couple of days ago he's focused in on 2 things right now. One that he can do and one that he can't. He said, what I can do is throw strikes and help this team win. He said, what I can't do is worry about things I can't control. He's going to flush that out of his mind and just go out and do this 8th inning thing and do it as long and as well as he can. Thoughtful young man.
I mean, it's still value. It's still high leverage situations, and sometimes you cut through the teeth of the order in the 8th inning. How many times do we see Tyler Clipper do that?
Yeah.
So important situation, and it's not just strikes; they're quality strikes with all kinds of movement, going all kinds of different directions. You can throw that many strikes that Dan just said as a pitcher and get your head kicked in if they're not quality strikes. He's pitching to a corner. It's got life, 94, 95, and the slider's been as good as we've seen it.
That fastball a beauty on 2-0. Locks up the hitter there. That was close to a swing. Gabe Morales says no, and it's ball 3 on Saltalamacchia. That's rare. Saltalamacchia on for the 3rd time today with a homer and 2 walks. They bring in Yasmani Tomas. First base runner against Drew Storen since he became the 8th inning guy in Miami. Tomas, 2 hits in a row. And this one a pop-up. Storen had him reaching. Anthony Rendon. It's another 0 for Drew Storen. And now 5 nearly perfect appearances as the setup man. And what a play by Desmond. Drew trying to earn a split in this 4-game series and make it a 2-2 homestand. You can watch every out-of-market game live or on demand in true HD on over 400 mobile and connected devices. MLB.TV Premium. Real-time highlights, live look-in, pitch track widget, and more every night on every device. Some blackout and other restrictions apply. MLB.TV. Check it out. It's been 3 games since Brad Ziegler saved his 19th in that 6-4 crazy 9th inning on Monday night. He had to come on to get 2 hitters after the Nats blasted Daniel Hudson for 4 runs. Rendon, Harper, Robinson, bottom of the 8th.
Sidearm fastball averaging 84, slider 73, changeup 77.
Great swing by Rendon, just lining it hard to left. Anthony on for the 3rd time today, so he's 1 for 3 with a pair of walks.
Not waiting around for anything. Against Ziegler, you got to get the ball up, elevated. He got a first pitch fastball, was all over it.
And Rendon's done that against Ziegler pretty well. 3 for 5 career against him. Here's Bryce Harper. He and Ziegler have somehow avoided each other until this point. And Bryce on 4 times today. 3 walks, a base hit, a run scored. And this is one of those you kind of create your own motivation appearances for a closer. Down by a couple of runs. Trying to keep it 5-3. And Bryce taking on 2-0, 84 right in there.
You just tell Bryce Harper's approach. He's setting up to drive the ball to left field, left center field, up the middle. When you face a submarine guy, a sidearm guy, the ball's really going to be tailing away from you, so you want to stay on it and think about keeping your front side closed and driving it towards shortstop or left center field hard.
Harper gets enough of that one into right center. Rendon's going to turn and head for 3rd. A 5 for 5 day for Bryce in terms of getting on base. And that batting average is going to be climbing from 330.
Like I said, you want to get up there and pull this guy. Well, he was set up to go to left, but the ball just kind of over the plate, rolls the wrist. And just enough. A little 1st and 3rd action. Anthony Rendon looking good running. And how about Bryce Harper's lower half? Just a small stride. Get the foot down and then watch the hips explode. And the barrel overrated for Bryce Harper today. He's hit a couple, one off the end and one a little bit off the sweet spot right there. 2 for 2 on base 5 times.
On base percentage at the start of the day, .455. So the Diamondbacks played the infield a little more in than halfway. Big spot for Clint Robinson, 0 for 4 day. He's been working some long counts. And Ziegler leaves one way outside, 1-1. 77. That's close. That ball hit hard to right field, over the head of the right fielder and out of the ballpark. A 3-run laser by Clint Robinson. And the Nationals go up 8-3 on his 5th big league homer. That was a screamer.
Well, everything in the at-bat down and away from Clint Robinson. He did a nice job of laying off those pitches. He finally got something elevated close to him and hit a rocket out of here to give the Nats a 5-run lead. That'll set Jonathan Papelbon down the bullpen and maybe get up Blake Trinan. We'll see. Not a save opportunity anymore for the big right-hander. One swing of the bat. Clint Robinson doing some serious damage here in the bottom of the 8th. Check out where the pitch was. It was up, everything down and away. Look where this one is. Just pulled it back to the other side of the plate. The most elevated pitch in the sequence, right around the knees. Drops the barrel to the baseball. You see the reach from Hernandez and the home run from Robinson.
Well, Clint Robinson with his 5th home run, RBI total 19, 20, and 21 on one swing. Well, you never know what's going to happen when you've got closers in situations like this where they might need a little work. I'm going to go 104 on that hit speed.
Wait, hold on. Give me a second. I'm going to go 100.
Okay. So I think he hit that as hard as Desmond's earlier.
Well, you got it.
103.
5-4 you. Long way to go.
Produce County.
A lot of season left. It's early. A lot of taters to be guessed.
Out to short from Jason Worth, and Pennington throws him out. That's the first out here in the 8th inning. What a great story. The 30-year-old rookie. 13 major league at-bats prior to this year. 4 with the Royals, 9 with the Dodgers. And my, oh my, how he's taken advantage. Clint Robinson, last 46 games, 5 home runs, 18 RBIs, and 26 runs. What a good story. Way inside to Desmond from Ziegler. He in 1 for 6 career against him with a pair of RBIs. Chopper left side. Bare hand play. What else does Jake Lamb have to show us in this series? 2 outs.
I mean, on an in-between hop, the bare hand play. I mean, this ball had a little mustard on it for the bare hand, but watch the in-between hop, and he just gives with it perfectly. Little change in the grip. Sidearm throw right on the money. Jake Lamb can play.
Yeah, Blake Trinan on that home run. One closer hammered, the other one took a seat.
thought the Nats did a good job of scoring runs throughout the ball game today. We talked about earlier how it scored runs early, then there's kind of a lull, and then they score runs late. Well, today they scored 1 in the 2nd, 1 in the 4th, 2 in the 5th, 1 in the 7th, 3 here in the 8th. So just tacking on all day long, staying focused, good at bats throughout the game today by the Nats offense. And they answered the Diamondbacks every time they scored today. 1 in the top of the 5th, 2 in the bottom. 2 in the top of the 7th, 1 in the bottom.
Home run guys.
Tater Club.
Nats have hit 107 this year now. Ramos jammed, and look how hard he still hits it. Pennington throws him out big. Bottom of the 8th for Washington. Clinton Robinson, 5th big league home run. He's hit some towering drives. This was a low laser, and what a good catch out there in right field. Nicely done on both ends.
It is.
All right.
It's good. I know that.
Good for him. So Clint Robinson, as we mentioned, had worked the count today. Hit one out of here. Blake Trinan coming off 5 scoreless appearances at AAA Syracuse will get some 9th inning work here.
It's a 5-run lead. It's more than work. Trying to get the last 3 outs of this ball game. As we've seen, the Diamondbacks will fight you.
That they do. For Arizona, Castillo, Owings, and Inciarte, 8, 9, and 1. Nats trying to win their 56th game of the year and shave a half game off the Mets lead. New York in Florida tomorrow night to take on the Rays. Castillo pinch hit, base hit. Part of that 2-run 7th inning. That happened before that 2-run double by Ender Inciarte that had us all squirming as the ball game suddenly was 4-3. There's that slider, straight down it went. 87, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
You know, I like that he worked on the 4-seam fastball when he's in AAA, a pitch that's a little bit easier to command. You know, so many times with that sinker to left-handers, it would start kind of on the inner third of the plate and run right back down the middle. So now you got a 4-seam fastball. For those of you that don't know, is the straight fastball. And you talk to guys with a good sinker, a lot of times, you know, they aim right down the middle and let it run, let it work. It's tough to command, especially in the upper 90s. So Now you have a go-to pitch that you feel a little more comfortable in to throw strikes and to pound lefties in.
Great pitch down and away, 89 for the strikeout. Chris Owings will be next.
Nasty right here.
That's a big league slider, man. No doubt about what kind of arm he possesses.
No, it gets back to what Dan said Matt Williams talked about when he addressed the players today, being aggressive. When Blake Trinan's aggressive, I mean, his stuff is as good as anybody's. Jonathan Papelbon, Doug Fister digging the 5-run lead.
Swing and miss stuff, 2 down.
You can tell by the look on Blake Trinan's face, it's all about being aggressive. Nasty slider once again, so a 3-pitch see ya. And a nasty strike 3.
Johnny Holiday, Ray Knight out in left field. They've been waiting for one like this too. I would imagine Ray's yellow legal pad's a little more full than it has been lately. A lot of offense to talk about today. 8 runs on 9 hits. And a ball fading away. Trying everything moving effectively here. Good crowd today. 32,838 for a 4 o'clock game on a Thursday. Got inside on him and a bouncing ball, base hit. Inciarte was 0 for 3 today, and now he's 2 for 5. 7th hit for him in this series. That'll bring in Cliff Pennington. Tomorrow night, Jordan Zimmerman, 8-7. He'll go against Jorge De La Rosa. Runner on the move, indifference, and he's at second base.
And Blake Trinan's troubles his first time around this season was getting lefties out. He didn't really have trouble with right-handers at all. It was having something to go to against left-handed hitters. And that's why we've been talking about that 4-seam fastball. Yeah, that back knee slider plays too against the lefty.
Wow. No balls, 2 strikes. Swing and a miss. The Nats earn a split in the 4-game series.
And they go to a 1.5 game out against the New York Mets. And there's such a long way to go in this season. One of the better ball games they've played in a long time. Played great defense, timely hitting, good pitching. Solid win for the Washington Nationals here today against the Diamondbacks.
And Joe Ross back even. The rookies 3-3 had a heck of a game. More from Nationals Park after a W.